Hey everybody, Straighters103 here today with another replay analysis looking at Ahoy, Don't Let Me Win. This is an NA server replay, and we're in the Tier 10 Royal Navy Super Large Heavy Big Super Cruiser, the Conquelul. So well, I'm sure everyone knows what's really up with the Conquelul. This is a game from the previous patch, before Christmas. I've got a massive backlog of replays to cover, so I guess just get started, right? Like, by massive, I mean, 15 plus replays, and, a couple of them are from before Christmas, and, I think, 10-ish replays showed up over the Christmas holidays while I was away, so unfortunately I wouldn't have been in a position to cover them. Anyways, reading up the email, I think my biggest mistake is that I wasn't thinking far enough ahead. However, RNG smiled upon me this battle. I think my position was decent this battle as I tried to stay close to the front lines, although I did tunnel a little bit, which left me in a tough spot with the enemy Minotaur. So, well, let's have a look at the matchmaking. Obviously, there's got to be a Minotaur there, and there we go. Monte Curve, so it's a reasonably heavy tier 10 battleship game. Double Montana and the Curve can be... I mean, we could all just spam them down with AG. It's not like if the opponent had double Yamato, 46cm cannon, easily able to just lol pin our 46, I wish, 32mm of armor, which means that we're going to bleed heavily, we would have bled heavily to that. But they do still have a Senjo, which, 20.3cm prototype guns, easily able to go through our 32mm of armor with HE. Moscow can do a lot of damage from long range. Baltimore not lol, again able to spam us. Fletcher Ognovai, if the Fletcher gets a good broadside salve against us, that could really hurt, because we only have a total of 82,900 health at max, and, sure you get the super heal, but the super heal does not counter things like Citadel and Torpedo damage that well, and even being pressured by AP damage, it's not really that great. Anyways, it looks like there's a bit too much communication in chat. CV now in radar coverage from Baltimore, so I guess that tells us where he is. Must be somewhere down here. Regardless, we spot Namagi, again 32mm of armor, coming with a curve for Santa Monte. Might as well just open fire. Oh, it's this old bug again. There you go. Once, you need to zoom in twice and it'll go away. Hopefully. Yeah, I've kind of lost track of the replays, so yeah, let's see. The replays to cast, that is. But regardless, we've got a reasonable force here, double Yamato and the Conquelul, plus the opponent, they have a bunch of tier 10s here as well, although one of the Montanas is on the other side, so we do have definitely a advantage on this side of the map. And there you go, do it twice, and it should go away now. Senjo's opening fire on us. That is actually a bit of a threat through, later on in the game, because a Senjo can easily hit like 7k, 8k salvos plus fires on us repeatedly. Of course, fire damage is the better thing to take, simply because once we start burning and whatnot, we can just simply position ourselves in a way that we use our heal, counter all the fire damage, and then just come back on full HP, or near full HP again. Anyways, Montana is, he was, burning a bit now, because he did damage control a single fire, which in my opinion is just absolutely silly. He doesn't have fire prevention, so if you just spam a little bit further on the back end of the ship, we aim somewhat central there, maybe we can go for more greedy fires. Of course, Conquelul being Conquelul, you never really know. But regardless, we're easily winning the trade against the Montana. The question is how well are our battleships doing. No team has managed to acquire any cap yet, although it seems the Minotaur is trying himself on B. Monty takes a bit of a blatting from someone else, probably one of the Yamatos. So, man, he gets a full damage penetration, 4,455 on us, but that's not a major deal. Guy's currently got 3 fires, and looks like we do pick up 2 additional hits, but he's having a really, really bad time. Trying to swing around maybe our front turrets and get the finishing shots off on him sometime soon. We fire just as he vanishes, so I'm not sure if these shells are going to fly over or not. But we now have fire on our deck, but the super heal will easily be able to counter that shortly. We just kind of need to take a little bit more damage. But the Montana seems to have gotten away from our salvo, surviving it, but looks like the target is still burning and the Senjo gets the kill. So that's still a tier 10 enemy battleship eliminated. Very good. And, well, let's have a look at the trades. We've lost a Kid, they've lost a Fletcher, so better for us. North Carolina, Montana, better for us. Excuse me, if I voice sound a little bit silly, it's because I was away skiing and had a little bit of a cold during that time period, which was a bit annoying. But hey, yeah. So yeah, if I sound a bit ill, it's because I am a little bit ill. My apologies for that. Regardless, the team is now approaching Alpha, the Minotaurs captured the Bravo, and the enemies look like they will be able to acquire Charlie, which could be rather unfortunate for us because it means that we're going to have a bit of a points bleed applied to us. It's already happening because we're going to be ticking slightly slower than the opponent. However, if the enemy team does decide to make a bit of a silly aggressive push, and if the Senjo had a float plane fighter, he could easily launch that now and pretty much instantly spot the Armogy and Kerr first, which is useful for him because he'll know with a little bit of warning before they show up around the corner. And of course, planes that are taken off are invulnerable for 10 seconds of time. Senjo is starting to kite away. He does have 30mm of armor, which means he can resist the firepower of the Kerr firsts and whatnot. So he's not just going to get, lol-penned to death. However, overall, right now, it's really just a matter of trying to eliminate enemy ships here and trying to be able to get through this. The Yamatos are kind of just sitting a bit behind. I mean, they're Yamatos at the end of the day, they're not the world's best ship overall. Artalol seems to be really slow, that's way overled. The guy doesn't seem to be building up any speed. Rather, on the other end, he's actually losing it, so I think these shells are all just going to fly right ahead of him. Bit of an unfortunate shot there, but against an Artalol, it's unlikely to do too much, simply due to the fact that the torpedo bulge and the armor layout overall is going to be able to protect him for quite a lot of damage. But you can see he does 5k to us, and that's the downside of the Conquelul having only 32mm of armor absolutely bloody everywhere. However, her guns are coming online again, and well, he's actually kind of doing the right thing, assuming we're going to shoot HE. And at this point, I would just immediately trigger the heal. No point to hold it. It's going to tick for the entire, for the entire thing that we can, regenerate. So there's basically no real need to keep on to it. We're going to continue to take fire at this point anyways, so it really does not matter. Now, that's the thing about the Conquelul's heal, having, I think it's 120 seconds heal on cooldown on the premium consumable even, means that triggering early is generally a very good idea. Well, not triggering so you only get like 10k health back, but like when you already know you're gonna get full benefit out of it, and you can see there, it's slowly ticking down alongside with our health, well, almost-ish, and at the end of this you can see it basically is approximately half your health. As we're going to continue to take fire, the thing about the Conqueror is, with that heal cooldown, it really hurts to be, sure, within 20 seconds we're back to, like, 85, almost 90% health, but, from our current position of being, like, a third, just over a third, the problem that we'll encounter is if there's a lot of enemy firepower, and if we're looking at the map, we see that the Minotaur is now creeping up on us as we try to shoot over the island with AP against the Kerfus. Probably not going to find too much damage out of that, but we're starting to break away a little bit of here, which, again, is a pretty good move to make. So we just need to keep in mind at this point that we shouldn't overextend ourselves, and we shouldn't over-broadside. Because right now, if the Kerfus gets lucky and salvos us with a couple of other stuff, we can actually die instantly. And that'd be kind of unfortunate. But I think we've held the heal for about 30-40 seconds. In situations like this, like, just trigger it now. There you go. Definitely no reason to hold it back anymore. And at this point, with sure, we're going to regenerate up to about 60-odd K. But, well, you can see we're still continuing to bleed at this point. If we had triggered the heal about 40 seconds, almost a minute earlier at this point, we can see once the heal comes back, on cooldown, you'll see. And there, bam, 2-minute heal, 120 seconds. And, well, if we'd healed a minute earlier, we would have a minute left on cooldown, or 30,000 health right now if the enemy team are able to concentrate fire and fire on us. The Minotaur, for example, hydroacoustic surge up right now, we could be in a position where we're going to be pressured. But we're not going to be able to engage or push this Minotaur. He can easily just torpedo us down, and with our current low HP, I don't think it would have been worth it, so I probably would have just tried to finish off the enemy Grosso Kerr first. And, of course, keep in mind, the Minotaur is about on towards the side we're facing our guns right now, so he is in no position to actually rush us. However, if we're going to bleed incoming HE damage from enemy Japanese 20.3cm cruisers, we are actually going to find ourselves pressured on health, but a little bit of luck, smiles, and an AP salvo, we damage control party the 5, we are low on HP here, and if we had the triggered the heal earlier, our heal would have been ready around about now, and we would have been able to regenerate the health. Very important thing about heal management is to remember, well, to remind yourself when you should consider using it and when you shouldn't. But deleting the autogo means that we can just go ahead as the Minotaur pushed ahead a little bit and hopefully get ourselves concealed, and that's exactly what happens. Only 2 overpens against the Senjo, Senjo troll armor being Senjo. But there's no point to push, even attempt to push the Minotaur, because there is an Octavii behind that, so I would just suggest we pull back and try to fight the Baltimore. Hopefully we're going to be able to survive the single Senjo that would potentially be trying to spam us over the island. But we're now even unspotted by the plane, and the Fletcher knocks out the Baltimore, which is very good luck for us, because it means we don't have to fight him, because that would have been kind of annoying, especially if he would have been able to kill the Fletcher. The Yamato is now mentioning something about the Minotaur, but nobody is in a position to deal with that. The Z-46 rushing a Minotaur is basically committing suicide and throwing away a ship for no real reason. And we don't actually have a plane, so we can't actually, just launch a plane in there and spot it, which would actually be really useful at this point, because the Yamato group could potentially just go and shoot it. But, I mean, I guess it's NA server and shit like this happens all the time. Full HP Yamatos in the middle of fuck all nowhere, I don't even know. But hey, our next hill is online again. I guess I mentioned it enough at this point, but... yeah, that looks like the Senjo plane. Yeah, it's the Senjo plane because the Minotaur just smoked up. Which is, might be a bit annoying because both the Senjo and the Minotaur would be in a position to shoot at us, although the Minotaur is actually approaching the cap. Now, if Z-46 had hydroacoustic search available, that would have been nice and, could easily just spot the Minotaur in the spot. Even if the Z is hydroed himself, he kind of just needs to back away. The question really depends on how long his hydro is online for. We shoot, and we obviously get spotted through it because the guy is now inside of the cap as the device starts pushing our Z-46. Unfortunately, we just salvoed our rear turrets and... looks like the Moskva is a bit pissy about something. But if we had our rear turrets available, not trying to MLG the Minotaur, although of course we wouldn't have known the Ognovai was going to push like that. So the shot at the Minotaur was definitely value for money in a way. Well, it wasn't any value for the money, we just wasted money, but there was no real reason at that point with the information we had to hold a shot. Speaking of shots, we did pick up the Minotaur there, incredibly well done shot from our end. Got a bit lucky to get the dispersion to pick up the kill there. Unfortunately, the Z-46 didn't actually have a hydroacoustic search to spot that. So very well done there, well aimed, well taken. The Minotaur did kind of screw up by shooting from inside of the capture circle already, which is kind of the deal there, because if he hadn't shot, well, we still would have been able to randomly shoot in there, because the smoke wasn't that big, and it's kind of obvious where he is inside the cap, because, the cap's sticking and the Zhao's not there, But hey, we still get AP loaded, pointing at this enemy Montana, successfully dodged this Ognovai salve. Of course, the big battleship gap happens, and, we don't even need to dodge it, we just, it just passes us. We do actually have an expert loader, so the cycling time on these guns is quite nice there. We immediately swap to H. If we had shot him while, dodging the torpedoes, not everybody is able to recognize torpedo paths as easily, so it really depends on the player, but... of course, you want to min-max it, and, looking at it in hindsight, oh, you could have shot the AP out the barrel and whatnot. And of course, if we had expected to continue engaging the Montana, not anything like the Zhao now coming up, we could have adrenaline rush? We could have expert loaded the salvo earlier. At long range, the HE is obviously going to be a lot better against battleships, because you're less likely to hit stuff like deck and whatnot, so we do get a 14k fire salvo on the Montana, who's now ticking quite nicely with the fires. Gonna continue shooting at it, no reason not to. The Senjo's by now probably gotten himself behind cover, and yep, easily behind cover, though the Z-46 torpedoes make short work of the remainder of that thing's health, even though it has like 20% torpedo bulge. And there you go, another salvo lands. We pick up the Montana kill. Monarch's pushing towards us right now, but our heal is up. We were actually quite close to dying early, although it's not a major thing in that sense. We did get a little bit lucky that we didn't get set on too many fires there, and otherwise this could have actually ended up in us dying, and that's the most important thing. At this point, I probably would have tried to shoot the Monarch. I don't know if we were typing in chat. Doesn't appear to be. Maybe we're doing something else, paying attention to something else, or all tabbed. But if he had shot the Monarch, set him on fire, maybe he would have not damaged control party, which meant that we would have been able to keep him spotted due to the 2 km fire concealment penalty rule. Or if he did damage control party it, we would have been a little bit earlier to farm a little bit more damage. But unfortunately, the guy shows up on broadside, so 2 of our shells don't actually achieve anything. He shoots us back for actually quite a bit of damage, but it's AP damage, which is actually annoying because it pressures our already rather low starting health bar. But now we're both well within each other's spotting ranges, and the Monarch is currently just taking a bit of damage from Yamatos across the map. I mean, like, look at that. Like, they're up there. Why are we going this way? But hey, whatever. Guys realize that he should be shooting HE, and now, of course, it's like all of our main gun turrets and doesn't achieve anything at all. No fires, even. But this game is pretty securely in our favor right now. We're not even spotting the Moskva. Perhaps he's deciding that he wants to just disengage, run away, and hide in the corner. But with the Fletcher chasing him, I think he's probably going to get caught eventually. Even with killing the Monarch, which I think is 110? Nope, it's 100 points. But it's not pushing us towards 1,000 points too fast. But if we're lucky enough to pick up the Monarch, and lucky enough to pick up the Moskva on top of that, who might be low HP at this point, there is a chance for us to get a Kraken. We've already gotten 2 Devastating Strikes, and we've gotten our High Caliber, which is actually quite nice considering it is a reasonably battleship heavy game. And on top of that, a Confederate, because we have been spamming HE at a lot of enemy targets, but these HE shells go in and the dispersion look horrible, but we do actually pick up the kill. No reason not to heal there in a way, because, I mean, we could save it for the Moskva. Actually, we have Adrenaline Rush, I think, so it kind of would have been better just to not heal there and push on towards the Moskva, because at this point, with only 4 minutes left of the game, and the fact that the guy's probably running, we're probably not going to find any real value from our heal regardless. And there we go, the guy spotted on 2,000 health, probably out of heals right now and just running away. But the Fletcher's chasing him, so Moskva's not in a position to really do anything about that. Looks like he's turning, so we kind of need to get lucky. What we need is an HE on the deck hit, or the upper belt, which might, not section out, but we miss, so the guy's begging for his Dreadnought. Nah, I don't think that's going to happen, because we're up here with a chance to pick up a Kraken. He is scraping the border. I think we need to apply a little bit more lead, but of course at this range he could potentially turn in. We're using the 16-inch guns. Let me check, see if the AP damage works. I don't remember, it's like 13k-ish maybe. But, with HE we need to hit and penetrate with 2. With AP we need to penetrate with 1 or overpen with 2. So maybe a consideration could have been to swap the AP, but again, it's completely pointless, irrelevant, and does not matter at all. Because at the end of the day, we just need to get a little bit of lucky with both of these shells, and now that he's taking a little bit of damage from the Fletcher, we just need a hit, and we actually pick up our Kraken. So in the end, we didn't really make any 2 major misplays. The only thing I can really think of is that we didn't trigger our first heal earlier, and that's the thing about the Conquelul. If you can get shot at only by HE, you can sustain yourself with a lot of regeneratable health, because the fire damage and the HE damage, well, it's just nicely healable. However, if you are being shot by AP, you quickly get pressured because you're only able to regenerate 50% of that, and even worse if you take torpedoes. So your long, that's 2 minutes long, cooldown on your heal with premium consumable nonetheless, you kind of face yourself a lot of pressure throughout the game on your health. You kind of want to be able to have a heal available for you whenever you want to do something, and not just, be it as a heal to disengage or a heal just to keep yourself in the game, but you don't really want to be caught in a position where you just use the heal and suddenly have to take another engagement afterwards, and that's what the Conqueror does best. It really just does good at going in, beating an enemy tier 10 battleship in a 1 versus 1 fight, burning it down, and then just healing yourself back up, and then initiating the second engagement when the next heal is going to be able to protect and regenerate you up again after that fight as well, or during that fight. So that's the thing. Keep in mind your heals. Keep in mind your positioning. The positioning against the Minotaur wasn't really a major problem. He was never really going to be able to achieve much against us unless, he catches us at 2 kilometer range and rushes us. And he was not able to do that because his bow was facing the wrong way. If he wanted to rush us by pressing W, we would also have had the time to accelerate, and if he wants to push around the corner to angle against us, he's going to be showing broadside to Yamatos and probably find himself exploding rather fast without really being able to achieve too much against us. Also considering that there is the Z46 there, which would likely spot any torpedoes that the Minotaur tries to launch past him. So I don't think the position against the Minotaur was too bad, although the only real thing I can pick up in this match is the way too late trigger of the heal, and we didn't even get to use all of them in the end. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. It is a bit of an older one. I am, like I said, trying to catch up with this ridiculously big backlog, so I'll be probably posting a lot less of my own content and publishing a lot more of these replay analysis, as I do have basically 5 more days until I have to, put more time elsewhere. So 5 more days to be able to provide content for you guys, and hopefully you guys will find some good use out of it. Yeah, if you like this, give it a like. If you didn't, tell me why constructively in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on twitch.tv/strangers123, and I'll hopefully catch you guys in the next one. If you want to send replays to me, there will be a email address in the description below. Have a nice one, take care, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See ya!